Welcome to episode 28 of Ask the Grounding Experts, where our experts from E&S Grounding Solutions answer your engineering questions about the world of grounding and earthing. Today, we bring you part 4 of a 5-part series answering the question, what are the 4 lightning scenarios that cause problems? I can feel the electricity in the air. Here's David.
Hey, welcome. This is part 4 of our 5-part series on the 4 lightning scenarios and how to resolve them. If just a quick refresher for you, in part 1, we discussed the primary scenario, which is an air-to-air strike, where cloud to cloud, where lightning strikes, it goes across the sky. You've seen it in storms. They're very beautiful, but that lightning goes across the sky, causes massive electromagnetic fields to form. They go easily down into the earth and your building, causing all kinds of damage as that lightning travels across. Counter fields have to form in your structure, causing damage within your structure. That's the number 1 scenario most likely to occur. The second most likely to occur is a nearby ground strike. So lightning hits the earth, enters the earth. It's like throwing a pebble into water. All those electrons go across the surface of the earth like a wave or a ripple, and that hits your building, couples up in through the building steel that's in contact with the earth, causing electromagnetic fields to form, and again causing damage within your structure, blowing things up, and that's bad. The third most likely event to happen is lightning strikes and it hits the incoming power lines. The incoming power lines get energized. It comes straight down into your electric box, blowing things up. Again, another bad scenario. But today we're going to talk about, on part 4, the least likely event to occur, the 4th and last event. And these are so unlikely for most folks, the odds will be hundreds of years before, once in 100 years will you be hit by lightning directly. And that's what we're talking about today, a direct strike to your building. Now, if you're in certain parts of the country, you're down in Louisiana, Florida, it's a little greater than that. If you're out in the Congo, it's even greater still. But for many parts of the area, we just don't, the odds of us getting hit directly by lightning is actually really low. But when it does, we get lots and lots of damage. And lightning can be powerful, really powerful. And it's increasing, by the way. The damage, the amount of current per strike is higher than it's ever been in recorded history, and the number of occurrences that are happening are higher than ever in recorded history. Just from 2019 to 2020 alone, there was a 141% increase in claims, and the average claim increased in damage, or the amount of damage per claim increased on homes. So we're seeing a massive increase in lightning strikes and the damage recording, and this is direct hits that are hitting your structure. And how powerful can these be? Generally speaking, you're looking at somewhere between 35,000 amps, maybe as low as 20, but usually around 35,000 amps. In India recently, generally you'll see 200,000, 250,000 amps, but in India, they just recorded a 1.8 billion with a B lightning strike. So they can become amazingly powerful. When you take direct hits, you're almost certainly going to take damage. There's just not a lot to do. It's going to come in and it's going to hit you. Now, if your building happens to be made out of steel, it's going to hit that steel and it's going to propagate down. Again, it's going to form these massive magnetic fields as it goes. It's going to propagate through everything, through the building. Those fields are going to form. It's going to travel down the steel structure until it hits the footings or ground system, whatever you may have, and finally gets propagated out into the earth and out into the surrounding soil. Again, electricity is just electrons. These electrons want to get back onto the orbit of an atom. Where do we have a lot of atoms? The earth. So they just saturate into the soil right there, and that's your what the electricity is trying to do, and your building just happened to be in the way. Now, if your building has to be out of wood or stone, if it, in the case of steel, when the lightning hits it, it's going to heat that steel up. But usually with just a single hit, the steel can handle that heat. If your building's made out of wood, and that's the path, it has to take the wood path down to ground, well, it can't handle the heat, and it's going to burst into flames. If it's made out of steel or concrete and it's filled with water, it's usually going to explode and splinter at some level on its way down and cause cracks. So oftentimes when we talk about, in our next video, we'll be talking about making sure we provide an alternate path that is conductive for these things, so we don't have wood turning into flames or stone bits exploding. And then in the case of steel, we can utilize copper to reduce that electromagnetic charge. But in conclusion, the fourth scenario and least likely to occur is a direct hit that strikes your building. And obviously that's going to cause lots of damage. If you have a steel building, it'll form massive electromagnetic fields that can cause big problems. If you have a wood building, it might burst into flames. If you have a stone structure, it might crack and explode because of the current traveling through it. In any case, there are resolutions to resolve that, and we will be talking about that in part 5 of our series. So thank you for joining us today. If you are watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button. Leave us a comment in there. If you are listening to us on a podcast, please hit subscribe. Leave us a review. You can always go to our website, esgrounding.com. Leave us a note, send us an email, give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks a lot. See you soon.
Thanks so much for watching. If you found this episode helpful, please give us a quick like down below and subscribe to stay up to date on future educational videos we will be publishing. And feel free to post questions or comments below as well. We might even feature your questions in future videos. If you'd like to learn more about the amazing world of electrical engineering and grounding, be sure to check out our certified online courses at the links in the description below to kickstart your career. See you next time.